Excellent. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Lauren Duffy is out of town, so I'll be filling in for her tonight. The first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from last meeting. So those have all been distributed. You have a copy in front of you as well. I think the notes highlighted in blue below each.
It was highlighted.
Below each of the bullet points. Are there any adjustments or edits that need to be made to those minutes? Okay. I don't remember the order of the things. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
So moved.
Great. And do we have a second? Perfect. All right. So the meetings have been approved, or the meetings have been approved. Second thing on our list tonight is an official welcome to my new guest, Chris Edsel.
Kurz, no T.
Kurz, thank you.
Kurz Edsel.
All right, perfect. So we're really excited to have you joining us here. Have you met everyone? Should we do a quick introduction?
We did meet last time.
Perfect.
I gave a really
Budget here.
budget.
We're flying out.
I was flying.
I gave a flippant introduction. I'll give a more formal introduction to myself. My name is Mary Beth Kurz Edsel. I'm a faculty member in industrial engineering at Clemson. I'm also chair of the Clemson Aquatic Team and meet director, outgoing meet director, but still supporting the meets at Fike and at Open Water on June 4th.
Well, so it's great to have you join us when I was not here last week. Great to have you tonight as well. We'll move on to item number 3. We're just crushing it tonight. Dixie Youth Scholarship Presentation by Eric Baldwin.
That's me.
Mm-hmm. Or by Jay.
For Eric Baldwin.
For Eric Baldwin.
The Dixie Youth Organization gives out $2,000 scholarships each year to seniors in high school who have played in our programs. South Carolina got 15 this year. We had a winner last year, Tipton Wright. So we have another one this year, Mr. Eric Baldwin.
Pictures to take or pictures over here.
Right.
Excellent. Congratulations, Eric.
You're done quickly.
Excellent. We're good there, Jay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Moving on to item number 4 for public input. We have one item that was emailed out, the proposal for the City Garden Shed mural.
Meredith.
Yeah, I felt like I should be asking someone. Sorry. There's no name on my list.
I'm Meredith McDonald. I'm actually the chairperson for Public Arts and Cultural Commission. What you received in your inbox hopefully last week was a proposal that was given to us by a City Clemson resident, Kathy Robinson. And she presented the Garden Shed project to Public Arts and Cultural Commission back in the fall. The Garden Shed is located in the Clemson Park and the United Methodist Church. We do have permission to actually have the shed on church property, even though it's a garden shed by the city. So this is a wonderful example of a Clemson resident coming to us and saying, you know what, we can do better here. We can make this place beautiful. I took the opportunity to actually visit the gardens today, and they are striving, blossoming. They're beautiful. to have a mural on this, not so beautiful shed, would only enhance it. So I'm just really pleased to be able to, give you this proposal tonight and, with your blessing, move forward and, have it go through so we can spend the funds and find an artist or a group of artists that would be interested, in taking this on. So if you flip the page, you'll notice that we do have an evaluation criteria, a budget. It's a very small budget, but we think it'll do the job. And then the project schedule, we have a lofty goal of having this approved and then going, for, you know, keep it going through June, July, and then actually having the mural completed, by this date. If you'll notice, on July 18th, our review committee is actually going to be, part of the Public Arts and Cultural Commission, the Art Center, bless you, and, Clemson representative and the Clemson Community Garden member. We would, of course, invite Kathy, to review all of the proposals, and, if it wasn't for Kathy, we would not even have this idea. So, we're just grateful that she even came to us with it. And then, we'll hopefully see the artisan group, actually have the completion date as August 31st. We are encouraging, not just artists, it could be any group to come and be a part of this. If it was a minor, like if it was Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, or a high school group, art club group, which is our original idea, but now that school is out, we're thinking opening up, then we would definitely just need one parent or somebody to approve the actual funds and actually the proposal that they would give. So, is there any questions or anything? Yes.
Have you got any ideas for the mural yet? Or they're still open-ended very much?
It's very open-ended, but it needs to be with the actual, go with the theme of the area, which is a garden theme, and that's something that Kathy actually gave us as, when she presented it. She said that, you know, vegetables, a garden, just something to go with that. And we hope that we will have somebody fall in that theme.
Okay, and the second question is, I noticed on your schedule, is there a need for city council to approve anything after we approve it?
Well, it would, after you approve it, then of course it would go to city council.
Okay, because I just didn't see that in there, so.
Yeah, so whenever their next meeting is, I didn't have that on there.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
and then, just the artist, you're looking for something, obviously not quite as extensive as the one that's on the side of Judge Keller's, downtown Clemson.
Well, it is on a smaller scale, so.
But that girl, I mean, the girl that did that one, she would be more, I would think more expensive. The lady that painted the one on Judge Keller's?
I would believe so, yeah. And it's just a smaller scale, but I mean, she would be open as well as any artist to apply.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're setting the cost, or
Right.
100,
Right.
Because the cost you have here, I don't know what her cost would be, whether she'd even be in the ballpark.
Well, that'd be on her.
Yeah, that'd be on her, yeah, that'd be on her. But okay, that was just my question, isn't it?
Sure, thank you.
Other questions? Camp Clemson project?
Aries.
Throw a little paint in there and mix it up.
I can't guarantee what's gonna be on what is it, storage shed? I don't wanna, is that what it is?
Which, is it the brown one or the white one? The wood one or the,
I believe.
the newer one?
Yeah, the newer, thank you.
Yeah, white, beige, obviously not an artist.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Like, so if it gets painted, then eventually in time it will deteriorate?
Yes.
What's the plan for maintenance, or like what's the lifespan of the paint job? Like, if it was like watercolor, it's like a day.
Right.
That's an extreme case, but what's sort of the expected life?
So we will be encouraging the artists to use, something that would adhere, nicely and be outdoor paint, to the shed. That's something that we will make sure happens. And really, that is a question that we have moving forward as we, have more projects in the area that are public art. That's something that we're gonna be talking about in our workshop in June. I believe the day is June 22nd. And we're going to be addressing, now that we have public art, how do we maintain it and, what do we do there, so.
Just an idea, as the art camp grows, maybe that would be a good thing to do in the summer as a project for those kids in art camp.
Yeah.
To be able to go out there on a weekend and have a fun activity on a Saturday, just.
I have no projects. I'm in the leadership and training program.
Gotcha.
So we'll be talking.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, so what do you need from us, like official?
Really just the official stamp of
Approve.
approval.
Yeah.
This is,
I motion to approve your own proposal.
A second.
Perfect, we need to vote. Anyone, any discussion? We kind of already discussed. Everyone? All in favor? Thank you.
Unanimous. Okay.
Great.
Passed unanimously.
5-0.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Meredith.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Kathy.
You could have called.
Gotcha.
I didn't get it. Okay, is it really fast? Did you get it all?
Robinson.
Oh, no, Kathy Robinson. Fine. All right, next up we have department report. So Lindsay, you have a report on campus programs and events?
Yes. So first thing, just so you guys know, my name does not have an H in it, but that's fine. I just wanted to let you know, W-A-T-L-E-Y. But I will go by whatever. Mama Bird's fine, you can put that on there. So for camp, we are at 160 to 180 for day camp, depending on the AM/PM session. We have 6 to 10 LITs, and then 75 to 100 per day in sports. So we are on track. We are having some late enrollees sneak in the older grades. We're kind of packed in rising first and rising second, but I'm able to accommodate some rising third, rising fourth, rising fifth graders, and we're still able to take leaders in training as well. I have 2 great interns this semester who are working really hard on the LIT curriculum. So we're going to be offering those life skills I've discussed in the past, which is going to be fun. We have processed 37 employees or in the process of it. I always get asked by university students about the trends in parks and recreation, and I said earlier that a lot of these employees have, they want to work half day, or they want to work 1 week on, 1 week off. So we have a larger number of people coming through camp and having to train, but our schedule's filling up, and I feel very confident we're going to be well staffed. With that said, we were kind of thrown a wrench in our plan with the pool. The pool broke at CCRC, blew up, whatever happened, and there's no pool for the campers. So I worked really hard to try to find somewhere to swim. We reached out to the 2 pools in Clemson, and the one pool that we were looking at was an outdoor pool, could only accommodate like 15 kids at a time. So it would take us the whole summer to get every kid through the pool. So we were hoping that we could have a town and gown miracle with Spike, and so we're in the final processes of getting that agreement signed by the upper management and the lawyer. So we have the dates on the book, we have the price, and we are recruiting lifeguards. So I'm waiting on final approval for that from facilities at Clemson, and then we also need approval for transportation, so we're waiting on that, because we can't bring the cat bus onto property without approval, so we're jumping through some hoops. But we're gonna get there, and I'm confident we're gonna get it done in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. We have 6 lifeguards that we're hiring, so I think we're gonna be okay there. Our swim days are gonna be Monday and Wednesday. That is different than advertising. We're doing Tuesday, Thursday, but we just got note of that. And after we looked at a cost analysis of Spike, The, cost for spike per day is more than the rec center, but because they can accommodate more children at one time in the pool, it actually comes out to be about the same as what we would pay the rec center, maybe just a wee bit more, but, we're working on contract services and being able to not use as much entertainment for the kids this summer. I had my annual summer feeding meeting with Little John Community Center. We're set up for feeding for all sites, including sports, so they will get breakfast and lunch, grab-and-go style for every kid who comes to camp, regardless of their free and reduced lunch status. Every single kid will get something to eat. Training starts next week. It's on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Then we take a break and come back June 1, 2, and 3. For all the students who are in high school, we do have an online training platform through Expert Online Training, so we will train them through that. I know this is a lot, I'm sorry. The All-In Grant, we have canceled our Tuesday classes because our instructor is on maternity. She's had a baby, and so we only running Thursdays for now with the sub, but we'll return to Tuesdays once she gets back. This week we have 2 events. I have VIP and me on Saturday, which is full. It has 50 people coming to the Art Center to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's an inclusive event. You can bring any person who is a parent figure to you, and we're going to be doing art and have a lovely little light lunch and games and things, so it'll be fun. Movies in May ran last Friday after a rain out the Friday before. We had about 50 to 75, depending on when you looked out there. We had some bail. The movie was long. We watched Spider-Man, so we had some parents who had to take the little ones home, but it was great. We had Mr. Twister there. It was good. This Friday, we're giving free pizza away from the restaurant across the way. So we expect more than 75 these next couple Fridays. And then the last 2 things I have is the ITGA conference is coming up. I've been working on that with Jay and Tony and Gwen Powell and Paul Russell. So we'll be presenting at that conference on the 3rd day of camp. So we're super excited about that, landing on the first week of camp.
Lindsay, can you show us the ITGA?
It's the Town and Gown Conference. So it's a national,
International Town Gown Association?
yes, international conference. So we'll have schools from all over, and we're going to talk about how we grew our relationship with the university in our department, and then Tony's going to talk about the projects they've done. So I think it'll be engaging and fun. So that's coming up, and then hopefully once the budget is approved, I'll start diving into the trailer project. That'll be next. Because that's July 1, I would like to get that ball rolling in the middle of summer camp so we can potentially have use of it starting our fall activities. That's my goal. Who's doing those? Do you want this paper? The only correction is that it says Tuesday for the fitness class and it's Thursday. Okay. On my paper.
Thank you.
Excellent, thanks, Lindsay. Doing all the things still, and it's really exciting to hear that it sounds like the working with Spike is gonna work out, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my questions were going to be, where's the swim going to be? When you answered that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that. That was real good.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, where in the world can she have that around here? And I forgot about Pike.
Yeah.
And
And we're gonna let the parents opt out if they don't feel comfortable with Spike. I know it's a different style pool, and the kids who can't pass the green test will have to wear a life vest. So I am giving the parents an option to opt out, just so you guys know. We want children to be familiar and want to be in the water. We don't want to traumatize them, so.
What situation are they giving you for the restrooms?
They cannot change there or use them. There's gonna be one restroom that we can use for emergency potty, and then we have to have a staff member. I haven't toured it yet, but is it far away?
No.
Okay.
Are you going to have to pay for security also?
I do.
Lucky.
Yeah.
They'll be safe.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Maybe you should let me know later.
No, I
You
mean,
can text me.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, we have 2 security guards that they pay for, so. And then we have to have a minimum of 3 guards for 50 kids.
I saw the advertisement, you get some good pay for the guards.
Yeah, well, I didn't wanna be waiting last minute to have guards come in, so.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I just looked at what my maximum was, and I'm just gonna contract pay them, and,
Yeah, that was excellent pay. We
Yeah.
showed the KK lady, young college kid or whatever would be easy money for them if they really wanted.
And I lucked out that 2 of my counselors are lifeguards, so if someone fails, then I have a backup to send. I got it all under control, don't worry. I almost went myself to be lifeguard trained, but I thought that'd be a little excessive.
It's good to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, I would tell you wouldn't have time to do that probably.
Any other questions?
I was gonna say, it sounds like maybe the pay increase worked well for the number of counselors you got.
Yeah, and I really think the flexibility in being able to work morning or afternoon is helpful. We have a lot of our counselors who were students this summer, and they didn't want to work a full schedule with their class load. It's a lot of what it is too, but yeah, it worked out well, yeah.
Good.
Way more applicants than last year.
That's excellent, because it's tough throughout the camping industry
Yeah,
for lifeguards, for anybody, for counselors right now, because, the businesses are finding interns, because they can't find staff to
right.
work, so they're hiring interns, which are, and I think I'm saying that right, intern, and but cheaper, but they get the work done out of them, and kids are flocking to that.
Yeah.
So the camping industry throughout the nation is having a hard time
Yeah, we're
finding,
very lucky.
and you're really lucky,
And I think it's my shining personality.
definitely.
Just kidding.
All right, we're good on Lindsay's report?
Well, y'all have fun.
Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Tony, Parks and Rec facility, what you have for us?
Well, first, Mary and I went around and had a nice tour a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's very nice, thank you.
Yep, a lot of good insights and good to do that tour again.
Very
We spent a lot of time on the new property.
On that little
On
card
the
thing?
Workman, yes.
It's like the best thing ever.
It was,
Okay.
I'll let you drive this time.
I'll be there tomorrow.
12-mile update, Bill Gaines and his class came to city council and presented components of their master plan. And, they did a great job, and all the ideas were very well received.
Tony, when was that one meeting, if you want to go back and listen?
Oh, gosh, it was not, we had last night, and I think it was 2 council meetings ago.
Yeah, the one before, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, I can't remember
That's right.
the date. They did a
April.
great job.
There's a picture posted maybe to PRTM's Facebook page, so I can go back and try to get you that date.
Okay.
I think there's some please don't want to know about that.
Groundwork at 12 miles has been laid to upgrade to fiber optic cable for a better connection out there, and that's for the cameras and the entrance gate. If you remember last time we talked about some lags in the gate, and that should clear that up, and there's going to be extra cameras added to the beach and landing area, and some late-breaking news on that. The gate was broken Sunday, and the individual was seen on camera, and when he broke it, he weighed about 20 cars through, and but a warrant was issued for him Monday, and he was taken into custody and a restitution for the damage. Public Works was able to take the gate and cut the end of it off and drill holes and put it back up, and we've ordered 3 new arms. Just in case. We'll keep them handy. We took down 7 dead and leaning trees in 12 Mile, so nice sigh of relief to get those down. And once we address that, we'll go through the backside of the property and look at some more that are just kind of more out of the way. And of course, Mary mentioned the cat swimming coming up on June the 4th. Getting prepared for that, and also Brendan Cruz is having his paddle jam on June the 25th. And then Patrick is working on just repairing some swings out there on his regular duties. Pump track update. Horticulture and stormwater crews laid 12 pallets of sod. It was donated by Carolina Fresh Farms. So we laid this around the track for erosion control on the steep slopes. We've been watering pretty much every day, every other day with the help of the Hyatts and the Carsons. Got a little text thread we've got going so we can keep up with who's watering at what time. That help has been really great. This past Friday and Saturday, we had a great group of volunteers come out and help clean the building, spread some mulch, pick up around the grounds, and just great to see people continuing to take pride in the park and happy that there's something there and wanting it to look better and be better, so. I can't remember how many folks came out.
On Saturday, I don't know, Friday there was a couple council members, and Saturday we probably had, I don't know that we showed the picture.
Yeah.
There was maybe, maybe 10 of us.
12
Yeah,
in the Facebook post.
yeah.
How else would I get my
Yeah, I
news?
would say about 10 people. I could name them, but
I know John Former and Robert Halfaker came out Friday and went nuts, and I got mad at them because I was like, you didn't leave anything for anybody to do. But
We spread some more.
They were happy and excited to be out there, and
Yeah.
the
Robert was-
building looks better.
yeah, yeah, so,
And, we had a meeting about the revitalization, which is kind of the grand opening of the park revitalization reception. I can't remember the official term, but we're looking at late July. So, just developing a punch list on that. So the building will be cleaned, and we have some other things that we'll wanna accomplish before, we have that event. That will be honoring the stakeholders and, inviting some folks who've donated and helped us build on track.
so there'll be more to that event, or is it more of just a ribbon cutting
Oh, I think there will be other things there.
community event?
City Clemson was named Tree USA for the 9th year. Our first community canopy mapping session is set for June 15th, so that's when we'll kick that whole thing off, and that should just take through all of it. And then I wanted to tell you guys about the Berkeley Orchard, which is going to be a new addition to the city park system. That is that's 4.3 acres at the end of Berkeley Drive along the Quinta Trail. The city engineering department applied for it, was awarded a grant through the South Carolina Conservation Bank to help with the purchase of the property. The grant limits the development of a city park to include native plantings, stream restorations, low-impact open-air education facilities, impervious and natural trails, parking, picnic shelters, playground equipment, and a few other things. Monday, I'm going to meet with Paul Russell's landscape architect class to talk about the project. We're going to visit the property, and then Paul is planning on having them work on designs for their summer session. Because this idea really came from visiting their classes. There was one of the projects they had done for the New Nettles property that included a habitat forage, and so to fit into that grant with the Conservation Bank, we proposed the idea of doing intentional meadows and like a habitat forage, and then having the Green Crescent Trail come through for toddies and move back around. So pretty cool to be awarded a grant. I don't think anything in the upstate has been awarded that grant in a long time, so.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry, the grant is the Conservation Bank?
South Carolina Conservation. Oh, you can have this.
Good job, kind of coming your way.
Cheat sheet.
I thought of that before. Give me the paper.
Tony, is there any, word on the grant for the, playground, or the workout facilities at Early Anderson Park?
I haven't heard anything.
Haven't heard anything. We talked at church on Sunday and no
Haven't heard
word, yeah, no.
That's the group that came and talked.
Last meeting? Nice.
Any other questions for Jamie?
Andy, what's that new plot of dirt that's by the pump track?
All right, David Taylor is our garden manager,
Yeah?
and, we have some topsoil that was stored up there. And so David is, really in the garden, and he put a little patch of okra in that topsoil, so that's what they did.
Because last time I was there, they had this new, it said private garden or something like that, keep off. I went, what in the world is that? And,
That's David.
David Taylor Garden.
David Taylor.
Fantastic.
Said the overflow, there's an overflow.
Anything else, Attorney? Thanks for the update. Lots of exciting things happening. That grant's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So excited to see where that goes and what the class comes up with. Yeah, very cool. Jay, athletics update?
Okay, I'm sitting in, for, Shannon, because he's at the ballpark. Tonight is, we're in our next to the last week of baseball and softball. We finished up spring volleyball right before spring break, which allows girls want to play volleyball and softball to do so. So, this is our last week of T-ball and developmental league between those two age groups from age 4 to 6. We had 190 kids. So they were out there 3 nights a week. We had 8 teams in each age group. So that's a popular age. And then the baseball and softball ages 7 through 12. We had 18 total with teams, and they will finish up regular season next week out there. And then the All-Star tournaments are in the middle of June, and if those advance, the state tournaments in July. So they all have a chance to move on. A new age group we added this year was 13-year-olds in baseball. It was that 12-year-old group that won the World Series. They wanted to continue playing. So we have a team, Salem has a team, Seneca has a team, Walhalla has a team, Pickens has a team, and Westminster has a team. So we're playing a 10-game league that we waited until JV and C team was over with, so players could come. They haven't had that age group here in, 10 years or so?
Been a while.
We're playing at Dawson Park out there, so we're getting some use out of that. We also we sent out an RFQ for restrooms out there. I had one company to show an interest, and Allison Gant is working with them on that. The price, money that was in the budget, we found out was not enough to cover it. So, of course, prices are going up. So we're hoping to move ahead on that soon. Spring soccer, that Carrie is coaching a team.
Tornadoes.
We have 160 in that program. This is only our 3rd year of having it. So we do it on Fridays and Saturdays, so the kids can play that and either baseball or softball or flag football. So they can do more than one sport. And we've only had one rain out this spring. So we need rain, but one more weekend it can rain during the week. We've had some rain on Saturdays, but we've been very fortunate. Fall sports, we're supposed to begin registering July the 1st for 3 weeks. It was brought up in a council meeting about, it was actually, a work session on the budget about the Nettles plan. They said, what is your first priority? Well, parking. That's the first priority. So Nathan Hinkle and I, we met a couple weeks ago about when you first come in on your right, sort of add some parking right there. That was actually part of the master plan, and if we have enough of the funds, go ahead and put in that new entrance on up and connect it with a road there and parking. Even if we have to gravel it first, because the cars are parking over there anyway on that grass. But
We clear out trees to make space for
yes. So hopefully this summer we can move on that project and have it completed by September. That's our goal. So, any questions?
Will there, I mean, there's probably not enough money, but part of, I guess, the master plan was to run utilities right under whatever that road was going to be, right? That's not gonna happen,
Well, that's not in
the budget.
yet.
Okay.
If we can add that, the entrance, and then connect it to the entrance we have now for parking.
Okay.
And then see what else we have, but.
That was gonna act like a one-way,
Yes,
so
right.
you pull into the main entrance and turn on that.
You'll go right
Go right, but
and go out
come back
a
out.
new entrance. Right. There's a plan, maybe parking on both sides, going one way.
I had a question now about Nettles, if there's other questions about Nettles first. Questions about Nettles. There's the summer tennis program this summer as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
We-
then,
We have almost 80 people signed up for
okay.
it.
Is there any, thought or discussion about adding a tennis clinics throughout the year, like a paid clinic that kids could go to, or tennis lessons or a tennis league?
Well, if there was a guy that was at SWU, I can't think of his guy that coached over there may be interested in doing that.
There's so many in the summer camp and the summer program, there might be interest in a tennis option.
Those with no courts on campus, that fall and spring, our courts are packed.
So there's not space to program them.
Well, we could, and just, reserve a time, yeah. We'd be glad to
Are
look
the
into that.
gentlemen who are still doing is that what the summer
Yes,
week
yes,
is they're doing it?
Mm-hmm.
yes, It's a free clinic.
It's amazing. I wrote an article about it in a couple of communities. I don't know if y'all read the.
You interviewed him.
I did.
Yes.
It was fascinating, his
Yes.
story. He started playing tennis. He played on the world level, was a national coach. He started with the rec league tennis program, free tennis program, and so he's run his whole career and he's in retirement and offering this free program with a lot of expert coaches. The coaches that they've got for free are phenomenal.
Right, and his son is in the Clemson Hall of Fame as a player here.
He lives very close to Nettles. So
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's fascinating. It's wonderful what he the program.
we are
back.
very fortunate to have him,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
It's a huge asset. I just think it's a wonderful program. It's exciting to learn about it.
Yes, well, and something else with the town and gown theme, but the club softball team that uses our facilities, they're playing beginning Thursday in the World Series in Georgia. They actually won the national championship last year. So,
Club team, wow.
yeah,
And they practice at Nettles.
and play there too.
We need to have some signs up for them out there.
They play there. I told them if they had a banner, we would hang it out there. Yeah, and
It's their facility.
We don't have a lot of fun.
we hosted,
So exciting.
in fact, we hosted the Southeast Regionals there 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That's great. How many teams were in town for that?
4. It was us, NC State, FSU, and Georgia.
Cool.
Yes.
Any other questions for Jay? All right, Jay, thanks for that update. Sounds like we are cycling a whole bunch of little kiddos through.
Yeah.
I was out watching some T-ball last week, and it was a whole thing. It was fantastic, but cars everywhere and then little humans everywhere. So everywhere. It was so good. Okay, so we'll move along to committee reports and items of new existing business. Lauren did not give me a list of these things. Are there things that we need to be discussing in this section?
Seeing from the last meeting, it sounds like we're gonna tackle in the fall, we'll look at, the food trucks, that would be discussed in the fall, set a committee for that, right? So, look at. Okay,
Great.
Is that right? That's what I understood from the meeting, is that right? So in the fall, there'll be some kind of work group set up for,
It says, the October-November meeting sometime there. That's what I'm
I think
thinking.
there, in the meeting, there was discussion about having to, form a committee outside of this meeting to discuss it and to work on it. That was my understanding when I listened to the meeting. Does that sound accurate?
Didn't we, would it also, rentals at 12, like kayaks and all that, wasn't it, at all,
Yeah, it was all in the, I'm reading this now. It's all,
Included in
it's all in the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Service
Package.
contract,
That's what I thought.
equipment storage and rentals and food trucks,
They were all in the
Yeah.
same,
all in
Yeah.
the same block.
but then there was another issue with 12 miles, that they've got their own set of rules there about what can be provided there, so.
Right.
So we're gonna address that in,
It says September
September,
or
November?
November meeting, yeah.
okay. Do we need to,
Is there interaction with other entities in the city on those topics. The reason I ask is for our swim meet, we asked about food trucks for 12 Mile, and they said yes. Lindsay said yes, because the whole facility is closed. And that wasn't obviously a Parks and Rec person telling me that. That was I don't know what unit she's in. I just wonder if we have a subcommittee, should it be like a joint subcommittee?
That was
Well, the thing is, Lindsay Newton is in charge of special events.
Yes, and it was a special event, so maybe.
Right. And it fits in one of our parks, she comes to us and asks us questions. Also, yeah, she is in charge of that. And the food trucks is between the business licenses and all, it's, right.
So this will be, sorry.
We need answers also on what's our ordinance, whether it's renters allowed to do or not. So, we're not sure ourselves, actually, so.
So it seems like it would make sense to figure out who those people are that would need to be at the table.
Yes.
And to, set people
Include 'em.
on this committee who would like to, let's examine that.
Yes.
So, we have a meeting in July as well. I don't know if that's the meeting to discuss who wants to work on this, what's the best way to go forward with that.
I mean, so how do we identify those people that need to be on it? Is that something that we are able to identify here sitting? Is that something that we need to go research?
You can probably talk to Lindsay Newton and ask her
Okay.
who needs to be involved in that, I would suggest.
So maybe that conversation happens before July, and then at the July meeting, we potentially have a list of outside of this table people that we need to invite, and then we can gauge interest from committee members to implement it.
Reasonable.
You can tell me no.
No, that sounds like a good strategy. I think that sounds like a good strategy to see who needs to be involved, and then July committee members or form a work group.
Cool. Is reaching out to Lindsay something that I need to do? Jay, is that something that someone here is doing? Is that someone that,
I can,
great, that'd be awesome.
I got it.
Yeah, man, Jay. Any other new or existing items of business that need to be addressed today?
Looking at the other one, the Community Connections article, I watched the video of the meeting after I wrote my article. So from the minutes, what I got was that we were supposed to do a report on Lindsay and the parks, the camp staff. So I didn't feature Lindsay as the staff, which I didn't realize later that I was supposed to feature Lindsay as the staff. I did more of the camp, so I felt felt bad after I listened to the meeting because I just read the minutes. But, so the Clemson community, the Community Connections about Lindsay's summer camp, and it's been so long since I've written it. I also did an update on the pump track and on 12 Mile, so that should be coming out not too long from now. I turned it in a while ago.
Like, almost 2 months ago, right?
First of June.
No, a month ago.
First of June it comes out.
It comes out, I think that's right.
And then I'll get a list of the staff to interview for next time that Tony had mentioned.
Will we have our July meeting will happen before you write the next one?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, I don't have my notes, maybe when, yeah, I know. I think it's usually due by the end of July, because I'm working on
Right.
vacation
And
usually. So,
The meeting is the 19th of July. So, they're, would have that, the deadline.
Yeah. Maybe in July, you give us an update of what you think you're.
If there's any ideas now, since
Okay.
it might be due, but any other ideas on, feature some staff that we see at the parks but we don't know much about. Other ideas for items to feature for the next article. Is it too early, Tony, to put about the Berkeley Orchard?
No, the land is under contract. It's probably gonna be a few months before
Okay.
the city actually
Too early for that?
purchases, waiting on that grant, to pay on the money.
Okay. I could always just do like a, sorry, truck.
It's okay.
Is that it? We'll wait on that one then.
Yeah.
Some other things, just to toss out there from tonight that have even been mentioned could be, didn't you say we were just a Tree USA?
City USA.
For the night time or something? That might be something, that could be pulled in. You said June 15th is when that was.
June 15th is when we're gonna start the community canopy mapping with the green infrastructure group.
So that, or there's what, the open swim on the 4th, or the paddle jam on the 25th, so maybe even highlighting some of that, the talking about mile, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I put the paddle jam, I put both of those, the swimming and the paddle jam, in this one, because they're at 12 Mile.
Okay.
We could do a follow-up feature with,
Have pictures?
yeah,
I'm just like, the ball ideas of it.
yeah. And we could also do like I think it's exciting to boast about the numbers that we've got in the program. I'd like to put those in there.
Sure.
I mean, at that point, there could be even like camp functions, like
Yeah.
summer camp.
Yep.
You could just do a whole thing of just pictures, like
Cause-
what's happening in Clemson,
Yeah.
all of these things.
The camp starts June the sixth,
Yeah.
so, yeah, you can have,
And when does, tennis start?
I
Remember?
mean,
Maybe that might be underway too.
it's in June too, yeah.
Okay.
What about the community garden? Not necessarily the painting project, but just, like get
Pictures of the garden. It is so cool. I've learned so much doing these articles. I've really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it to you all. The Rotary, Club, the Sunrise Rotary, they have a garden patch. Sorry if you've already read these, but they have a garden patch and they take all their produce from their garden patch and give it to Clemson Community, the free clinic. And they have a dietitian there that teaches the people at the health clinic how to cook with these vegetables. And they do it all, all the members take turns with, they have different crops that they do, and then they donate it, and they also collect extras from other gardeners, and they bring it here to the free clinic, and the dietitian teaches people how to, gives them the vegetables and gives them recipes. It's a really cool program.
They donated 900 pounds of vegetables last year, that the community garden did.
Cool. Yeah. I learned all these wonderful things.
Matt Roast at the,
Yeah, the credit union up at Walmart.
yeah, he,
Founders?
I said the
Founders.
vegetables in 5-gallon buckets right in the credit union, and the ladies at the counter like, use the offices that way.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can do pictures and just updates on numbers and, anything comes up, let me know.
Did have a meeting with Catherine Watt and Alpha Gant, the lady's name. She had done a presentation for a city council, last council meeting, about monarch butterflies. And, so we had a little panel about trying to make Clemson a monarch butterfly city.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Tree City USA kind of thing. So we're developing a strategy for planting milkweed in certain public areas, and then we'll be encouraging, residents to.
Will there be collaboration with the botanical gardens, because they've got their special butterfly garden area?
We talked about that too, so.
Haywood Douglas is really big in the monarch butterflies. I don't even know Haywood Douglas or not. But he actually takes trips to where the butterflies are down in the Central America. He's really into that.
Is there a way to get in touch with him?
Probably, because he spoke at the Satoma meeting, about his trips down there, and Kay probably has his email, but he would love something like that. He's big, really,
We're looking for community champions.
he would definitely jump in. I'll try to find something.
part of the Berkeley Orchard is going to be dedicated to pollinators, the intentional meadows. So I'm sure if you do that,
So is there any plans to do parking there, or just have it as a meadow?
yeah, there's nothing set in stone, but the idea of parking, was there. There was playground talked about, of course, the trail, an outdoor educational type facility, open air, because along that trail, we'd like to have these educational components describing what's going on, sort of the ecology with the tree restoration and, we'll have, and I don't think we have that, specific educational facility. To have that grant guide the development of the park to where it will be a nation effort.
Okay.
You're setting
All right.
1 hour
I mean,
record, girl. You,
well, she didn't send me anything else, like, I'm struggling here.
you're fine.
Okay, synthesis and chairs report. Again, sent me nothing, but let's take a minute, people. I don't have additional updates to share from Lauren at this time. However, I would like to thank each of you for the updates about what's going on around the park. It was fantastic. She's already left, hearing from Meredith about the potential, like, I'm gonna call it community art, but like the public art kind of piece. That's pretty neat. I'm stoked about this grant and the Berkeley Orchard situation. Like, that's gonna be super cool. And then the pump track, also, like, I'm on that Friends of the Facebook, but the Friends of the Pump Track group, and I think that's, I think bringing an additional form of recreation and sport to the area is really neat. Low-key gonna take my bike out there and try to figure out how to do it without falling off.
It's fun.
But I'm not sure I can, so like, helmet, thank you, thanks so much. Okay, okay. Wow, this escalated.
I mean, just because, you don't want to scrape your knee. It's not because there's any danger, just you don't want to scrape your knee.
Okay. So, some really neat things happening in the area, in a lot of different, varied kind of ways, which I think is really neat. And it sounds like our summer is gonna be jam-packed with new and exciting things as well. And I think on the 19th, when we all gather again, there'll be some cool updates to hear. I have no further comments. Does anyone else have further comments?
Will you let us know when the revitalization reception, I guess we'll get an email?
Yeah, the date that was going out there by then was July the 28th.
Okay.
That would be right before school starts back, right as people are coming back from vacation. I think school starts back August the 2nd this year.
No way.
Yep.
Golly, I'm glad I was at college. All right.
But, we worked on signage and all kinds of stuff. It's gonna look beautiful. It really is. And she's done a great job planning events, so I did, we'll see what goes with it.
This is for the Clemson Park? 28th is the...
28th is the tentative date on that,
Thursday.
for Thursday.
I'll be at the beach.
And
Every,
Juneteenth?
so often things happen.
Yes.
Don't.
It's on the 18th at Nettles Park.
Right. Are you gonna be doing a nature walk for that as well?
Been mentioned to me, but nothing
Haven't
official.
confirmed anything? Okay.
I don't have a time.
18th at night.
I think they're talking later in the day.
The Juneteenth, yeah. It's from like 2 o'clock on.
Uh-huh.
Because there's something late, there's a dinner later on, right?
Well, and we have baseball, a tournament that morning.
Oh,
We'll be out of there by 1 o'clock, and they're coming in after.
Right, that's all my questions.
Sweet. Everyone else solid? All right, having covered all things on the list and having had a great discussion, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We have a second?
7 o'clock,
That meeting
actually.
adjourned.
1 hour.
New
Done.
record.
You're hired. No.